una favilla sol della tua gloria possa lasciare alla futura gente.
Born in 1265, Dante Alighieri is considered the father of Italian literature and language. Where did Dante live? Where did he hang out? Well, actually, it wasn't far from the Duomo, although back in the late 13th century, the Duomo, as we see it there, didn't exist. Now, the area around Dante's house, which still exists, by the way, as a museum, is very authentic, and I encourage you to explore that area. It's a great spot to have a drink and just soak in that atmosphere and imagine yourself 700 years ago. Perhaps don't imagine everything, stepping through the sewer and crap that was thrown into the laneways. We don't need to imagine that, perhaps. So in this episode, I'm going to take you on a couple of Dante's regular walks from his beloved Piazza San Giovanni, where the Baptistery is, back to his house, which is now a museum that you can visit, and I recommend you do drop in. They've got some virtual reality equipment there. It's quite good fun. The area where Dante's house is wonderful in terms of authenticity. There's still some original towers from that period of time. And we're talking about the 1300s. There's some great little street food vendors there, some lovely little restaurants. So you might not be a big Dante fan, but I can guarantee you'll be a fan of the neighbourhood he lived in. So why is Dante such a giant in terms of word and prose? Dante was one of the first writers in medieval times to write in the vernacular and not in Latin, to write in the local tongue. So he wrote in Italian. He's considered to be the father of Italian literature and writing. And here he is today, albeit a street performer who performed quite well when I dropped a coin into his bucket. But what a performance he put on. It was inspiring. So join me on this journey through the heart of Dante's Florence, where each corner holds a tale of love, betrayal, and the timeless allure of human spirit. Expat Lifestyle with Pads. Please share, subscribe, bell notifications on. I hope you enjoy this episode as we explore Florence and Dante Alighieri. And look, this Piazza, the San Giovanni Piazza, Dante loved it here. He was actually baptised in the Baptistery just behind me, and that was built 11th, 12th century, whereas the Duomo, and I'll show you that in a moment, they didn't start construction until Dante was in his 20s. So he did watch that being put together stone by stone. So from the Baptistery, I'll take you this way, past the horse carriages, and show you the front of the Duomo as we head towards the house of Dante. And look, you never get tired of that beautiful view. And I do encourage you to come early morning, because you'll have the Duomo to yourself. That's a guarantee. Now, the east doors of the Baptistery are truly magical, and Dante would have been looking at this on his daily walks. However, back then they were timber. Now, the original gold doors are now in the Duomo Museum on the other side, because in 1966 there was over a metre of water here in the piazza, and those doors got severely damaged. So they're behind glass now in the museum, not far away. The Duomo Museum is just the other end of the Duomo here. And from Dante's Piazza of San Giovanni, where the Baptistery is, I'm going to take you to where his house is, and that's now the Dante Museum. And it's one of the, I guess, the oldest central areas of Florence. It's the area where Dante used to hang out, and it's a great, very atmospheric place to get yourself a drink, or perhaps some street food, or a nice meal. It's not far from here at all. So this laneway is the Corso, and we're about to turn to my right. Always a crowd at Dante's church. Now apparently that's where he first saw Beatrice when he was 9, and that's when he fell in love with Beatrice. He only ever saw her once more after that, but by the time he was 12 he had already been betrothed to be married. So we can see the church there where Dante first saw Beatrice, and his house is a mere 20 or 30 metres away, right here. And I was in this museum about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I'll show you some footage right now. Dante, the father of Italian literature and Italian language, best known for his Divine Comedy. Great writers did not have to use Latin, so he was a pioneer by writing in the vernacular, the local language. Dante's death mask won't be found here, unfortunately. Rather, it's preserved in the Palazzo Vecchio. Did you know the death mask plays a key role in Dan Brown's Inferno novel? And it's thought that it was probably carved in 1483. Okay, so this section of the Dante Museum is devoted to virtual reality. Put those headsets on. It's pretty crazy if you've never worn them before. The kids, they'll love it here. Okay, let's give these a go. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, that's unreal. So Dante's house, the museum, is very easy to find because it's in Via Dante Alighieri. That's the street name. There's a lovely art building just here, and the Dante Museum is this beautiful building, the tower, and there's obvious homage paid to Dante there. So it's a lovely little courtyard piazza here, isn't it? So we'll walk along. It's all very, very close together to Piazza San Martino. Another significant church that Dante frequented, and another great example of a early medieval tower. This is probably one of the tallest. So again, this goes back to the 13th century. And the whole point of the towers, nobility, provided safety because you'd go into the first floor, lift up the ladder, and you were untouchable. Look at that, it's just magnificent, isn't it? Now, around the corner, you'll find a great spot for a snack or a drink. As I said, this is a very old area of Florence, original area of Florence. So Via de Cerchi, there's some street food vendors. Now we've had a bit of rain, so the restaurants have got the blinds down. Very nice little area. So Via Dante Alighieri, Via de Cerchi. Now, after you've had a quick refreshment, drink, snack, we walk back to the Corso, just in front of us. And it's a quick left, then a right. Via Elisabetta. And here I'm going to show you another tower, which was back in the day a women's prison. So once more, 13th century. It's got a semicircle structure to it. It's pretty amazing. Here it is here. So that was a women's prison in the 13th century. Now it's a 4-star hotel. So you could probably pay €400 or €500 a night to sleep in a cell. Look, I'm sure it's been renovated, but that is an original 13th century medieval circular tower. Have a look at that. That's a Brunelleschi hotel there. Looks quite nice actually. And finally I want to take you down to Santa Croce, to the Basilica there, and show you a lovely statue of the great man himself, Dante. Andiamo, let's go. So behind me, Piazza Santa Croce with the Basilica in the background, and on the right hand side of that beautiful church is a lovely statue of Dante, the great man himself. So this piazza, it's about a 400 or 500 metre walk from Dante's house, okay? Beautiful buildings, aren't they? And the Basilica itself, Santa Croce, buried within, Michelangelo, Galilei, and we've got a large statue on the left of Dante. But Dante is so significant in terms of Italian literature, the father of Italian language really. So Dante Alighieri is iconic in Italy, and his works are studied very intensely in the Italian educational system. I don't know about you, but Dante always looks like he's a bit pissed off, if you pardon the French. I'm not surprised Florence banished him, exiled him from his hometown, the city he loved, in 1302. So he was kicked out, never to return, because he refused to pay a fine. So a man of principles, there you go. And look, the good news, the city of Florence did revoke that banishment. It took them a little while, however, because that occurred in 2008. Expat Lifestyle with Bads. By the way, I'll put all of the addresses and so on in the video description below. Now I hope you've enjoyed this episode on Dante, but also it gives you some more options, I hope, to explore when you're here in Florence, where to eat, where to drink, to be a real authentic medieval spot of Florence. By the way, please share, thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you next episode. Ciao.